What's up, Sonic fans, and welcome to the 8th inaugural episode of the Sonic Movie Show, the only show that promised it wasn't going to do any more homework and got a lucky break with some news. My name is Ethan, and with me today is Devin.
Let's do this.
And you got to explain what that is.
That's if you select Amy Rose in Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. She says
Which
that.
one? Isn't there like three of those?
Wikipedia didn't tell me. Just said it's one of them. It's
Probably
after Sonic and the Black Knight.
Oh,
And before
okay.
Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing. I combined Sonic and Sega. Sonic. Jesus. All right.
Yeah, you found, sure. So today we're going to be talking about a bit of possible news. I don't know if you consider leaked information news if it's not real in the end. But there's a potential redesign of the Sonic character in the movie has been leaked. And we just saw, at least I saw it today for the first time.
Yeah.
I don't know, when did you find it?
Well, I was at work and I was like, okay, we're doing an episode tonight, but what are we going to talk about? Because we didn't the last two episodes we've had homework ahead of time, and I'm like, oh man, what are we going to talk about? And I was like, let me just look up to see if there's any new Sonic news. 'Cause I usually check it maybe every other day, and the last time I checked, the only thing I had was the Sonic Halloween costume that's based off the old design of Sonic in the movie. And I'm like, I guess we could talk about that.
And
but
the quote for that is they'll be able to collect their candy in record time dressed in the Sonic costume for kids.
I didn't even see that. That was the script. That's on Party City, right? The link
Yeah.
I sent you. But no, that isn't the main news that came out. I found an article talking about a possible leaked image, well, two leaked images of Sonic's new design. The article I found was from, I think you say Lad Bible. I don't know. I've never heard anyone actually say it out loud. So Lad Bible.
I read that as laudable. Yeah, no, maybe you're right.
Lad Bible. Mad Lads or whatever.
Lad Bibble?
I don't know. But they're like, basically are just talking about the design from the beginning, like just a quick, recap of everything that's happening. Then they have a link to the tweet where a person showed an image, and this person's account is just a colon, and then his is at best in the galaxy. But I looked into his account more, and he's just like some random dude on Twitter. So,
As it always seems to be with these leaks.
yeah. So
I follow a lot of Super Smash Brothers leaks, and it's always some random dudes like, yeah, I work in a print shop, and my company has been tasked with promoting Super Smash Brothers, so I have all the pictures of the characters, and it's obviously fake.
And how often are those even real? Like you just said, they're fake. But has there ever been one that was
way
real?
more often than not, it's fake. Because like, here's the thing with leaks. There could be one element of this that's correct that they heard. Like, say, like they hear, okay, he's going to be shorter, have gloves, and he's going to have more pronounced ears or whatever. They just take that information that they know is true and then say that and expand upon it with way more stuff to get people like super hype, and it ends up not being true. But I don't know, like looking at this image here, because there's two images, right?
Yeah, I'll put the link in the description. If you're on YouTube, you'll see in the description and under sources. But also, I don't know how the links really work on Apple. Like it'll say it, but you can't like hyperlink it or anything. So I'm sorry about that.
It should be easy to find the design.
Yeah, I did also find this tweet also on Reddit, on the Sonic the Hedgehog Reddit. So it was on there.
And what
too.
was the Twitter at again?
At best in the galaxy.
Yeah, so if it hasn't been taken down by the time you listen to this,
It's
you
October
can probably look that up,
14th, 2019. So it was a couple days ago now. But yeah, he posted this with no caption, just two pictures side by side. One of them has what looks like Jim Carrey in the background and a Sonic ring, and then there's some missiles or drones or something following Sonic, and Sonic's looking right at you, and he's
doing his classic Naruto run.
And
his arms behind his back.
The one on the right is more of like him coming from a certain angle.
It's a side shot.
Yeah. And it looks like he's almost in motion, maybe.
Yeah.
I
think the main thing that these both show is he looks a lot shorter.
Yeah. Well, before we go into that, I just want to say that because you're talking about like where You're saying how the Smash Brothers, will be like, oh, I know someone in
Right.
XYZ. This person, the first comment says source, and he said a friend in Paramount Studios.
That's my uncle at Nintendo,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. So, first thing about before we go into design again, I would say is we did see the mouse, like you pointed out before we started recording, that there's the mouse cursor
This
on
is
this
definitely a
first
photo someone
image.
has taken of a computer monitor.
Yes, I think both of them are. They look like they both could be.
Yeah.
And I will say the first one looks more legit than the second one, in my opinion. Overall, just like quick glance, the second one looks almost more photoshopped looking, like that. His blue fur just looks like clone stamp tool. Maybe, I don't know,
Yeah.
especially on
As
the
the thing
head, the
goes,
forehead
the
there. But
the people that want to make a convincing link or a convincing leak can take their time, and they can make it look super bad that makes you think, oh, it has to be real, or so bad, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, I don't necessarily think the quality of it
yeah.
even matters anymore.
So I guess regardless if it's real or fake, I personally think if anything, at best, the one on the left is real, and I think the one on the right is fake, personally, or both are
It
fake.
looks like the one on the left is a movie poster,
Yes, when the one on the right just looks like some sort of ad, maybe
promotional still. Yeah.
cereal box uh, cut out. I don't know.
You know, Ticketmaster.com.
Ticketmaster.com, IMDb,
uh,
side ad.
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Well,
Looking
so
at
yeah,
this now,
you look at the
this is
design. Yeah,
definitely what I would have wanted. So I don't know how much I want to believe it because it just happens to be pretty much what I would want a Sonic design, would be.
he definitely looks more like what we were discussing previously, and just
So
looks
I'm almost
Sonic. Like
afraid to say it's real.
the only thing difference is the one difference I see now is between both of them too is that his ears, like he has uh flesh, I guess, in his ears in the picture on the left, and on the right he doesn't have that. It's just like a shadow.
Yeah.
So
It
that's a
also
little weird.
it might still be there. It might just be the quality of the picture. Because it kind of
Maybe.
looks like on his Sonic's right ear, the one that's like mostly just a side view. It kind of looks like there's like a tan color in there, maybe that's kind of just bleeding into the others, but it definitely doesn't look like it immediately.
But I think the first one, yeah, looks more official. But yeah, so he has gloves. Before he didn't have gloves in the
And his gloves
original
look like
design.
molded plastic. Like look at his
Yeah,
left one.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But I like it though much better than him having just white fur on his hands like he had
For
before.
sure.
He's less animal like. He looks like a cartoon character, which is what he closer is related to than an actual animal.
Absolutely. Well,
So
it's funny too. Like I'm now looking at the old design. It looks obviously really bad, etc. I just realized that his the colorization of the blue is very like light, like is almost like it's kind of washed out.
yeah,
And I just like, okay, this movie's coming out in a few months. We're gonna see the movie, awesome. We'll like it, dislike it, whatever. And it's gonna be a different design than the one we've seen. I think that they're probably course correcting to something that is a lot like this leaked image. If it's not this, it's gonna like look pretty similar, I would imagine. And years from now, we'll look back at this horrible Sonic trailer with this awful gremlin of a character and his meow voice line. I don't know. We'll just laugh. I think it'll be a funny thing that even Sega will reference.
I hope so. But it's kind of hard to tell if his nose is any different from the original design. Like, is it longer now?
It looks longer. Definitely, it doesn't look like it's like this weird, super detailed nostril set.
Yeah, and it's still kind of hard to tell if his eyes are connected. Like, because I know, like, you don't really think about it, but Sonic is basically eyebrow with
It
one
doesn't
eyeball.
look like they're
He's a
connected.
weird eyebrow. He is basically one giant eyeball. He's a
Yeah,
Cyclops, technically.
but to be honest, not only could I not really tell, it also kind of looks good anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
Like
don't
it
think it
doesn't
needs
look.
to be. I don't think there needs to be like a connection between the two eyes. I think it's totally fine to just do two
Yeah,
eyes. But it looks now more like Sonic's eyes compared to what it was before, where it was just more like these weird human
yeah.
eyes
And he's got big eyes,
on a
like his
talking
actual
blue squirrel looking
you
thing.
know, exactly. Both images don't show his teeth. It's got a closed mouth, so still
Yeah.
wondering if he's gonna have a set of 32s in there.
Or will he have more like I was thinking more like pointed teeth, like he's just a carnivore, kind of
Or
like
just like I don't know, like a whale where it's just like a flat like
yeah,
wall.
or he has no teeth at all.
He definitely has different shoes this time too.
Yeah, I forgot if he was supposed to have Pumas or was it Nike. I don't know which shoe
I don't
brand. We
see any
can't really tell.
shoelaces.
I really can't tell in this. Also, is in the first image,
Yep.
is that his knee? Does he have knees there? It looks like he has some knees.
Yeah. He has knees, yes.
I got to talk about that because in the newer cartoons, he's much more long. He doesn't really have knees. Like in Sonic Boom, we talked
Yeah.
about how he doesn't really have. It's just like long
A
arms
tube.
and yeah, just a tube.
Oh yeah, I definitely think that it's not going to be like, oh, you can clearly tell where his elbows and his knees are. Like I think they'll just bend. But he's a cartoon character.
Mm.
He is definitely a lot shorter than
He looks shorter. So now I wonder if they redo
he doesn't look human proportioned either, like the way his abdomen is.
Yeah, I was gonna say because we had the discussion of whether or not they would drop the same trailer just with the new Sonic design and how cool that would actually be.
I think that would be a very bold and very much like, hey, we are proud of the changes we did, and you're going to do the comparison
And I
videos
remember like
yourself.
they made Sonic seem even more taller than in that because of all the angles they were using. So I wonder how that would look with short Sonic.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no, I'm kind of hoping this more so the one on the left is real. I mean, they both look similar. I just think that
I want to see what the back of his head looks like.
that's a good.
I would
point, too.
imagine it's what I would think if they're going to go to this degree. But like, if they're making little changes, like he doesn't have one big old eyeball, but it is subtle enough that you don't really notice. I wonder if they like kind of change up, like how his like big old spikes work.
Does he
Another
have
thing
some?
too,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
the original design, very pronounced fur. Now these images, these leaked images, they're obviously extremely low quality. They're off, they're off monitor. It's just it just looks blue. I wonder how furry he's gonna look. Like, is he gonna look like he has big, like thick, like hair? You know what I
I mean, the
mean?
one on the right looks like he has more thicker hair. Like you can see the density of his hair. When on the left, he looks more smoothed out.
Yeah. Like it doesn't even look like
That's what
his
makes you think the
silhouette
right
looking
one.
head on. Like he has random
That's what
strays
makes me
sticking up.
think the right one is closer to being fake than the left one is because the right one looks closer to the previous design, and it looks like someone photoshopped it. Like I said before, it looks like someone used the clone stamp tool a little bit, but they kept the hair from the previous Sonic design just because it was easier to do it that way. I don't know. I keep going back and forth, but the one on the left just looks so close to like just it just looks like a movie poster that I would see. Yeah, in a theater. So
And I like it.
I do.
I
actually like
honestly
it.
do like it.
And I kind of dig the whole. I mean, we can't see the full thing, but I kind of dig the Jim Carrey like thing in the background where he's the big menace. You know what I mean? And I kind of like that. It's cool.
You know what this looks like? Just having it cut off. There was an EA game made by Insomniac on PS3 called Fuse, where the box art had these 4 characters or however many they are, and they're cut off right below the eyes, so you actually can't see them, and it looked so dumb. And this just reminded me of it.
Oh, so you
But
don't
no,
like
I
it?
like this idea of this poster. I mean, there's the 70-mile-an-hour sign. That's how we know he's going fast, right? Because
Yeah.
Sonic, when he runs, has to obey speed limits.
He has some electricity or something going on there, some static,
Yeah.
maybe.
And all those drones and missiles from that one scene in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
The more I look at it, the more I'm like, I hope they do what you just said, where they cut off Jim Carrey's just eyes. That'd be kind of cool, where it's just like Mustache Man versus Blue Hedgehog. Who
Yeah.
will win?
Also, Hold on. Oh yeah, never mind. I was gonna say like his Dr. Eggman's outfit looks different, but no, it's the same.
Yeah.
Hmm. So do you think that the whole thing, that this is real? The image on the left, do you think it's real?
I think the one on the left is real. I don't think the one on the right is real.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with you on that.
I go left for this is like Warzone or fake news again.
Exactly.
Except it's
But here's the thing, like,
pictures.
what if the one on the right is real and the one on the left is fake? And it's just because they spent so much time making, a poster, like, is that image of Jim Carrey, like, could you find that from the trailer somewhere? You know what I mean? Like, if that's a
too
unique
good.
still,
It looks too good on the left. I don't care. Like, there's some great people who could do some great things in
yeah,
Photoshop and all that, but that looks way too real on the left compared to the right, where the right just looks like I said, it just looks so pixelated. Maybe it's just of the quality,
yeah.
but I don't know. It just doesn't look as. So is that a mouse too? Mouse cursor on the right one near his shoe, the one that's like behind
Uh,
him, like on the back of the shoe there.
no, it would be more in focus. It would be way more in focus.
I mean, I also like your idea to, or I believe the idea that maybe these are both, like, okay, they had the design down already and they're animating it right now, like they're doing that.
Hmm.
And they probably will keep doing that until February. I'm hoping. Hope they're not doing it last until like a week before the movie comes out. But I wonder if these are just like, okay, guys, we need to start working on some posters, advertisements, and I wonder if these are just what they're playing around with for now. Like maybe this isn't, it's going to be a little bit different in the movie.
Yeah, who's to say that the one on the right wasn't one of the first pitched ideas? When they're like, even before the original movie design, that was a pitched idea, and they had it floating around as a reference
Yeah.
for making the one on
The
the
biggest
left.
difference between them, I still say, is the ears. So it makes me think that
It's a very noticeable one.
They went back and
Also,
forth
like
maybe with
the back,
the ears
the
being like
spikes
that.
on the back look like they stick out wider.
Yeah.
So, and the one on the left, you can see, we're looking straight on. You don't see any sticking past his ears. I don't know.
Yeah.
In fact, the one on the right almost looks like a Super Smash Brothers render that they just like made realistic.
Yeah. It's that blue, man. It's that blue right on his like above his forehead that like just looks so the lighting just doesn't look right compared to everything else in the picture. That makes me think it's clone stamped to hell. But it could just be like he said, the quality of the photo, the angle of which it's taken.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe both of them are real, and then we'll be surprised.
Yeah.
I'm maybe with it leaking too. If this is a true leak, that maybe they'll drop a trailer or even a photo.
I was just
of
gonna say
that sooner rather than later. Because my guess was
right.
November 1st or whatever. We made that little bet a couple
I think
episodes ago.
wasn't it you the first
weekend of November, first week of
and
November.
I was the last.
Yeah, I still
Yeah,
think we'll
that's
get
great.
something in November. I just don't know when. But I wonder if this will help. But this is the only source I've seen. Like I said, I looked on the Sonic the Hedgehog subreddit.
Not to be confused with Sonic the restaurant.
Because there was that fan made poster that you said you've seen before. I personally haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't have a source for the picture on the left, but it looks like an old movie poster. And this one looks closer to the design that was previously, so I don't think this has anything to do with this leak. I'll link this.
Like
I'll link the post on the subreddit in the description as well. But yeah, the one on the left looks like the old design. It looks because one, his legs are all weird. Like his arms aren't as thin, and his shoes are different. And because in that shoe he's wearing Pumas. That's the Puma arch there.
That's an old fake confirmed fake thing.
So because people were getting confused on the subreddit thinking that this was also leaked.
Oh really?
And I'm like, no, those are two different things. I think.
Nah, I remember seeing that. Like he looks like he's a Muppet. Yeah, whatever. But I like this. If I like this design, the one that we think is real. And thinking back to the trailer, if that trailer had come out and this was the design, I think everyone would be like, all right, this looks like it's probably not nearly as funny as the movie thinks it is, but like he looks good. It looks like
Yeah,
it's going to be fun.
it'll be better if it's good. We've talked about that before, but
Plenty of times. I'm rooting for this movie, but I don't think it can. I don't think it can be good.
no, this gets me, pretty hopeful. Yeah, but then we also had. I know I mentioned it before we talked about this leak was the Sonic costume that came out, and I know you're probably thinking, why are you going to talk about this? Uh, it's because
Why would they have this kind of material if they weren't going to use that design? Is right? Is that
yeah,
what
that's
you're
what.
going to
Yeah,
say?
basically, because we had that theory that like there was maybe possibly like within the production of the film, they're like, well, what is Sonic going to look like in terms of everything? And I feel like this confirms that no one at any point was ever like, well, we don't really know, but that at any point was like, our design is bad. I don't know. It just the fact that they already had
Yeah.
because remember the movie was supposed to come out what November 8th, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And so
Less than a month away. My so
this was
when
probably
when
already
you
in.
first showed me the image, I was like, well, this doesn't necessarily indicate anything about the movie. And then I looked down, like, oh, I looked at his weird Spider-Man looking shoes.
Yeah,
Like, oh yeah, those are definitely had nothing to do with Sonic, like
and
any regular design. So this has to be from the movie, and that's why
yeah.
he's super furry.
Well, I know I read. I didn't read any of the articles, but I saw a lot of the mainstream like
It's
nerdy.
$35.
Is it
Sorry.
$35? All the like the your classic entertainment articles writing about this costume and how it is for the movie. It was for the movie. So that means that this design was in the works for. I mean, it obviously was for quite a while, but like, it must have been early enough to be like, hey, we're gonna make this costume. And the
Yeah,
fact
and
that they're
that's
still
how a
committing
lot
to
of these
it too.
materials work. Like, there's always merchandise stuff comes out way before the movies, even trailers drop. That's just how it works. But it's interesting that
Where's the leaked costume
that they let
version of the
this.
new one?
Yeah.
What if that's how we find out the new design was? They're like, here is the Halloween costume version, and it's just a kid running on green
And if you
screen.
scroll down on that Party City page, you can find a pair of Sonic glasses that are
Oh
$10
yeah, I see that. And a classic witch hat.
for 5.
5. But yeah, I don't know. It just they tried to play it off as if I know we talked about a little bit last time, but they tried Jeff Fowler and was it Tim Miller there, and they said other people like knew they messed up when the backlash happened on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, I still go back to like if no one said anything, like it was just like this is bad, but didn't like go full force, like my timeline on Twitter was just crazy about it, right? Uh, if we didn't go full force saying it's bad, would they have done anything?
Yeah.
I fail to believe that.
uh,
I don't know. Like there was any someone somewhere was like, "Yep, this is the design, and we're going with it." I'm glad. Like I said, I'm glad they're fixing it, and no one's crunching over it.
yeah.
But like seeing the Sonic costume as it is, I'm like, man, what could have been? What could have been?
I mean, you know, I guarantee within the next 3 years, I want this to be on the record, evidence. Within the next 3 years, someone will do an entire edit of the Sonic movie to make Sonic look like the original movie trailer
You
design.
think that
Guaranteed. Within 3 years, someone's going to be like, "This is what it's going to look like." Yeah, whole movie, the entire thing, at least all the sections that have Sonic.
I'm
which I
actually
assume
surprised.
is
No,
most.
I mean, I'm sure I haven't personally looked it up, but like no one's done like the Sonic trailer, but redone to their design or what they thought the design.
If they have, it hasn't been famous enough to make the rounds because I would have seen it pop up if that was the case. But yeah, I mean, speaking of the trailer again, I want to reiterate: if they drop the exact same trailer but with the new design, I think that is the best way to like acknowledge that you changed it, acknowledge that it was because of outcry or backlash, and to actually show that you're proud of it. Like, no, this is it now. Like, this is it for real. We're trying this again.
Yeah. So, Okay, so now that we see, like, I think we talked about it briefly, but now that we have this possible leak that we think maybe part of it's real, maybe all of it's
Mhm.
real, uh, does the like I said, does the date move up for you? Do you think, or the possible time of when we find out the new design from officially from?
I think you're going to win our bet. I think we're going to get a trailer closer to the beginning of November now
So I'm not even
than
saying a
the
trailer.
end
I'm
of it.
saying just like a new. Here's the new design in a picture, even.
Isn't that what we bet on?
Yeah, it was any sort of
Yeah,
official, not leaked, official.
right.
But if we got a
Yeah,
new
no.
trailer, that might be a different story. I still don't know if we get
I
a
think
trailer
I think
soon.
well, it depends. If they want to reveal the film, the redesign in a trailer, I think it will be later in November. But I think if they want to just do a post on Twitter or something, or here's official artwork, this is what his design is. See you February 14th. I think we'll get that early in November and maybe a trailer in like December.
I kind of agree with that. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
It just
I
feels
follow
like
the Sonic movie Twitter account, and I've been anxiously waiting.
yeah.
But no, I guess we'll see where this goes. I don't. Then there's some people who are saying it's fake only because like the guy, like I said, is some random dude. I don't know. It
Like I
doesn't have
said,
any.
it's always that way. It's always because also, let's say you were a person of consequence. Like, hey, I work at Paramount. Here's the Sonic design. Like, no, you're out of here. It has to be some random person online in order for there
I
to be
guess.
no consequences.
Yeah, I guess. But I'm also surprised that no, like this has been out for 2 days and no one's talked about it. Like none of the.
I so this happens a lot with Nintendo leaks because I follow that scene a lot. People don't report on things if there's no sources or if there's nothing and there's not enough evidence to back it up.
Okay.
Which is why, like I said, a lot of major leakers, like, okay, I'll talk about Smash Brothers for a brief second. There's a DLC set of characters, right? They're announcing them one at a time, releasing them one at a time. When they announced it, uh, about a month later, they announced the first character. Before they announced it, someone learned what that character was. So they wrote out a fake list of the entire thing. They knew what the first character was and what his stage would be, and the ideas about what another one was going to be. So he made up a whole bunch of BS, like the Doom guy was going to be in Smash and all this stuff, because he based off a tiny little bit of information.
Mm.
And because the first thing got confirmed, all of a sudden people were reporting on his leak of like, hey, this could be real. Take it with a grain of salt still, but still, this could be real. Our leakers like this. Like, they know that, like, hey, the only people that are going to see my leak normally are people that are literally Googling Sonic movie news, Sonic movie news
Like I
over and
did.
over
Yeah.
every single day,
Yeah.
just to find, some game blog or whatever being like, oh, it's the Sonic guy.
Hmm. I don't know. I the more I think about it, the more I'm like, this has got to be real. It's got to be.
It just needs to be.
I want it to be. I really do.
Because if this is fake and the design comes out
And it's
and it looks
worse,
worse than this, we're going to be as disappointed as the original trailer, right?
if not
We're
more.
gonna
If
be
not
like,
more.
at least we could have had a funny in a really bad way movie.
Yeah, like if the design comes out worse after we've seen these leaked images, I'll be more disappointed in the design than uh than before the first trailer came out, before we even knew anything.
Yep. Remember those dark ages when before the announcement of the redesign, we were just stuck with that trailer.
We thought that was it, and that's why
Like,
we
well, this
ran
is what we deserve.
and that's why when we made the podcast, it was like, oh, it'll be there in no time. No, it's still February.
Yeah.
But no. Okay, back to the. I wish I had like a cool like soundboard or something. I could play a little song. But back to the Sonic movie stock market. How you feeling on Sonic now that we have this possible leak?
I don't remember where I was at before. I'm going to assume I was at
like
let's bury him already. If it was my heartbeat and not a stock market, it's we need to bury him. Let's assume I
Okay.
was at that level. I am now a lot better. I'm way more interested now. The design, now granted, like I have to couple this design with the knowledge that it's not like any of the writing, the humor, the voice acting, and possible terrible, Jim Carrey isms. Like, I have to couple the design with that. It's not like the design is going to save the movie per se. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm still a lot more excited. I would say this is a buy now.
You're
Buy
buying.
now.
You're
I'm
buying now.
buying.
Okay. I think last time you were like you were saying that your Where the Wild Things Are didn't help you. Like
No,
it
that
didn't
made
get
it worse.
if anything it made it a little bit worse. Like you didn't make you hype for this movie in any other way. And then I think after watching the cartoons, you said it was a slight increase in, if I
Yeah,
remember
because it
correctly.
just reminded me that, you know what? It's stupid anyway. Why not?
So I went up a little bit with Where the Wild Things Are, and then I think I maybe
Didn't you
stayed.
drop because you
Then
watched
yeah, I
the
watched all the
weird
bad
cartoons?
cartoons, so I dropped back to like I'll accept this for what it is. I'm just
Yeah.
hoping it's fun, and that's all my hope is. I'm gonna with this new design. I'm my interest has gone up a little bit more. I'm going back up to where probably past Where the Wild Things Are when we were at that point. I'm gonna go like 5 or 6 more interest points. I don't know what the scale is, but I'm going up a little bit. Not
All right.
not a huge gain, but definitely more than Where the Wild Things Are. I'm cautiously excited. I'm getting there. I'm getting
You
there.
yeah, you don't want to have your heart broken again.
Yeah. And the only way for me to really like be like hell yeah is if they drop a trailer or anything being like, yep, this is the design. Then I'll be like, okay, great.
I want a hype as all get out trailer with the redesign. I want them to be proud of it. I don't want them to just like sneak out the design and then resume back to normal,
It'd be dope if
marketing
they'd even post a
cycle.
picture. They're like next Tuesday, right? All of a sudden they're like, boom, here it is.
Here's the trailer.
Without any like warning or anything, just boom. It's on YouTube right now. Here you go.
Who knows? Maybe this is imminent. Maybe this is like by the time you listen to this podcast, the trailer might already drop. I think it might be way more around the corner than we think.
I hope so. Here's another weird theory, conspiracy theory. Ready? What if
Yeah.
this leak was purposeful?
I don't know.
Do you believe in
I
purposeful
think
links?
if the movie's
Leaks?
release date was summertime, then you have something there. But they don't have enough time to like test the waters and then change
Because
it
that's my one
again.
theory is that like maybe they're like, we'll see how this goes. Because maybe they want to drop it like in a couple days, but like let's leak a little one and see.
I mean, sometimes that works out. Sometimes if something is going to be hit with a lot of like a negative reaction, you soften the blow by leaking it, then you reveal it and it's not nearly
Yeah.
as bad and sommes better than people
Or they're at the
think.
point where like we can't go back now. We can't go back
I
now.
like
So
to point out to
here it is.
2017, going back to Nintendo leaks, that weird Mario and Rayman Raving Rabbits game leaked, and the design docs for it that leaked sounded awful and it was terrible. And then when they revealed that game, people were like, "Oh my god, this looks so much better! This looks so cool! I'm actually excited for this." That potentially the same thing could happen, with this design here. If they were like, "Oh, maybe people aren't going to like it, let's leak it out," and then when we reveal it with a hype as hell trailer, people will be like,
Yeah.
"No, I'm on board."
Maybe because people are forgetting about the movie. Maybe it's been what 2 months now since they announced that they're redesigning it.
2 months.
3 months.
It
Or is it
5 months?
I don't know how long.
I thought it was like my timetable's off.
I don't know. We'll have to look at. I need to start making a calendar over here that just has all the timelines.
You'd think for a podcast that has a single focus for its entire series, we would have all the information memorized or on hand. But anyway, no, I don't think that this was hey, if they don't like this idea, we can still change some of it. I don't think
it's that way. I'm saying more of just like, here's a leak to get people more interested again. Be like, oh, hey, remember that Sonic redesign they're doing? I think I have the leak image, and then it spreads word. I almost said word to word, mouth to mouth. And maybe it goes on some of the articles, like the one I just read there.
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden they drop the trailer, so it's not as random. Maybe, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like the design.
I do too.
I think if this movie has this design, it's going to be great. So, any last words on the design potentially?
Hopefully by the next time we talk, we got ourselves something else, a trailer, or a picture, something.
By the way, it's I think it's LAD Bible, that website.
Not Lad Bible.
No,
It's me and the lads, dude.
Yeah. So this has been the Sonic Movie Show. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music Podcasts, and the Libsyn Podcast Network. If there's a place you listen to podcasts and you want to see the Sonic Movie Show on there, why don't you give us a shout? Always be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube. And
Rate
you
the
can
5
always
stars or
give us those, rate 5 stars, write a comment. And the comment should be, I gave this 5 stars. If you're going to give us 4 stars, okay, fine. Anything else, there are other podcasts you can leave a 3-star review on.
If everyone writes, I gave this 5 stars.
Nothing's going to look more like you bought reviews than a uniform comment. You can find us on those places. You can find me on Twitter at Ethan Absolutely. You can find Devin on Twitter at Cursona YouTube. That is Cursona YouTube. And you can find the show almost every week on those places we mentioned before.
We're still going strong. We've already beaten our past record of 3 episodes. So
yeah, so we have so much to talk about. And next episode's going to be a normal one.
Yeah. About what?
The Sonic Movie Show.
The Sonic Movie Show. All right, we good?
Yeah.
All right. Let's leave with a ha 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 ha.